Welcome to Revenue Boost, a marketing podcast where we dive into strategies that drive real business growth. I'm your host, Kerry Curran, and this episode is Scaling Revenue in a Multi-Channel World, Mastering Awareness and Demand from TV to TikTok. Today we're joined by Gabrielle Richards. She's the brand director at Trafilea, the powerhouse behind Shapermint, truekind, Rebel Beauty, and more. In this episode, Gabrielle and I dive into the awesome growth efforts she has led across the multiple brands. She shares her journey and the strategies that have helped Shapermint grow to over 10 million customers worldwide. She also offers invaluable insights into leveraging platforms like TikTok, scaling through omni-channel marketing, and driving business growth through authenticity and inclusion. So tune in to hear Gabrielle's advice on taking risks, staying agile, and cultivating a loyal community that loves your brand. Let's go. So welcome, Gabrielle. Please tell us a bit about yourself and your extensive background and experience.
Sure. I'm so excited to be here with you. My name is Gabrielle Richards. I'm the brand director at Trafilea Tech e-commerce group. We are a brand that are building an amazing ecosystem of empowering brands, including Shapermint, truekind, Rebel Beauty, and the Spa Doctor.
Great. So tell me a bit about kind of what you're seeing in the industry and kind of with Shapermint in the kind of marketing landscape.
Sure. So right now, what I'm seeing in the marketing landscape is that a lot of brands are really trying to understand and adopt to this whole AI conversation that's happening and trying to figure out where do they fit in within this puzzle of AI and how can they use it to help enhance their current brands and businesses.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a lot of that's what I keep hearing from marketers trying to figure out how to incorporate AI. And you want the efficiency, but you still need the human touch to it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I know we talked a bit about kind of building the brand for Shapermint, and you've been there a while and have had a lot of experience. So talk a bit about kind of when you came in, what the efforts were around building brand and kind of the activation around that.
Sure. Yes, I came during a really exciting time where we were going through a revamp of our brand positioning. And I started off as our senior brand manager, where I was overseeing more so of our community channels and our organic channels, specifically social media, influencers. And during that time, we really wanted to buckle down on our overarching mission, which is empowering women and tapping into body positivity and making sure that all of our consumer touch points really laddered up to that overarching messaging. And for me, being a self-proclaimed body positive influencer, it was really important for me to truly understand what is body positivity? What is body confidence? And so during that time, and it was about 3.5 years ago, I enrolled in a course to become a certified body confidence coach. At the time, it was body positive coach. And I'm going to explain why the transition there. But it was really eye-opening for me because prior to me becoming educated really within that subject matter, I thought body positivity had a lot to do with just how you look, right? And I couldn't have been more wrong, right? It's more so how a woman or how a person feels within their skin. And for me, working at a brand where we create and empower our customers through our shapewear, it was important to say, okay, can you sell shapewear and truly be a body confident or body positive brand? And I would have to say yes, right? Because here at Shapermint, we're not here to change what you look like. We're here to enhance what you currently have. And so
Mhm.
through our comfortable shaping essentials, we're able to achieve that. And so from the course, I was able to help revamp some of the copy that was on our website, on in our packaging, in our catalogs, as well as reinforce through our acquisition and retention channels,
Mhm.
making sure that we're creating inclusive messaging, not just through different body types, but also
Yeah.
ethnicity and age and, body positivity at the time too tapped into all of the isms, right? So
Yes.
ageism, sexism, racism, and all of that. And so making sure that we could also be the pioneers and leaders in that conversation.
Yeah, no, that's incredible that you took that extra effort and step to really get to know your target audience and what they're thinking and the language they're using. And I just love the brand being more about accentuating what you love. I think we all we all need that a bit more in our lives. So that's great. And so I know you talked about kind of the early days there. You had some investment in TV, but then it was pulled back, and you realized, or actually, you're saying the investment in TV was pulled back, and you realized that you needed that kind of upper funnel investment to kind of to build that awareness. So, talk a bit about that experience.
Sure. Well, what I think many brands and companies they're seeing is that there's so many different touch points for that
Yeah,
consumer, and what used to be, the linear funnel back in the day where it
yeah,
was like TV, out of home radio is now you really need to be where your customer is throughout the different stage of her day, right? And
yeah, yep,
so prior to us going into traditional TV, we were able to scale a lot of our advertising through Meta and Pinterest and TikTok and Facebook and
yeah,
now TikTok. And right now, what we're seeing is that there's a huge opportunity for us to invest in those upper funnel channels, specifically in television, and really
yeah,
allow more women to know and learn who Shapermint is, but don't forget
hmm,
those other channels. So a good example, right? Our customer, she's multifaceted, right? She's a mom, she's working, she's, out running errands, she's shopping, and, all of a sudden she gets a phone call and she looks at her phone and maybe she goes into TikTok and we want to make sure we are there wherever she
hmm,
is, right? And so
yeah, yeah.
on social media, on television, linear and CTV, all of those channels are important, and us having a really great strategy to support it, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. And I think, you bring up a good point. The customer journey is no longer linear. You do need to be in so many touch points and really understand. So you've got the understanding the language that you need to use to resonate with them and being where they need to be. And you talked about, how you're using that to really build a community of customers, not just a one-way transaction, but really trying to use, both of those initiatives to really connect with your target audience.
Yeah, it's really important. Right now, we're incredibly proud to say that we've surpassed 10 million customers, and that's
Mhm.
been through, not just having great product, which is, of course, important, right? But
Yeah,
also making her feel that she's included in our
yeah,
community, and we're here to support her through every stage of her journey.
yeah. Great. So I know you mentioned TikTok, and that's a hot topic these days for a lot of brands. But when I talk to brands, they're not always sure it's the right channel for them or their audience. But talk about how you kind of built into that, and how you would recommend brands kind of, I guess how you've been successful and how you'd recommend other brands kind of chest into that.
Sure. So I think it would be smart for brands to use Facebook, and I'm going to say Facebook, right? Because
Yeah,
back in the day, that's what it was called, as an example of where it's
yeah,
like, you better get in now, right? While
yeah,
it's
yeah.
growing. So with TikTok, it's the fastest growing social media platform out there. And
Hmm.
I know in the early days, it was coined as like, okay, this is just for Gen Z, but I've been able to see, specifically during the pandemic, how that demographic widened, right?
Yes.
And in terms of trending news, topics,
Right.
events, it's happening on TikTok first, whereas you would have seen it happening on like Twitter
Yeah.
or in Meta, right? And so for us, we love tapping into new things. And we saw a lot of excitement in TikTok specifically. As you know, we've built a large creator community, right? And a
Mhm.
lot of our influencers and brand ambassadors, they're on TikTok. And so
Yeah.
it behooved us to also make sure that we're doing all of the advertising opportunities through TikTok, as well as
Mhm.
building the organic channel in itself. And so with that customer who is consuming TikTok, right, she might discover you through an organic post. Maybe that
Yeah.
post, by happenstance went viral, right? Because it's super difficult to, create that virality in this day and age. But
Yeah.
we want to make sure that if she discovers you through the organic side of TikTok, that we are able to also double down through the advertising side of TikTok. And then
Yeah.
now with the new TikTok shop, it's even better. They don't need to leave the platform to purchase, right? Whereas if
Mhm.
you were to discover a brand on television, you either need to scan a QR code or go to the
Yeah.
website, right? It's like you have to leave.
Right.
Whereas
Or go to search for it, and then as the brand, you hope they find the right thing. Right.
exactly. Whereas on TikTok now, you can purchase everything directly through the
Yeah.
platform. And I spend too much time there. But you, once you made that one purchase on TikTok, all of your information is locked in. So it's very easy for that customer to purchase in a matter of minutes. And also, too, it's a small window of them like changing their mind, right? They see
Right.
you, they discover you, they go to the TikTok shop, they see the creator content promoting the product at the same time. It's a win-win.
This podcast is brought to you by Break Room Labs. Break Room Lab gummies for energy and focus feature an optimized blend of low caffeine, vitamin B12, and nootropics to refresh your mind and body in as little as 5 minutes. Low sugar, tasty, and convenient. Get 20% off when you visit breakroomlabs.com.
What types of content, you mentioned user generated content is valuable for you and your audience. So, what types of content are you seeing are resonating the most? Is it your creator influencer content, more user generated, or brand? What are you seeing working?
Sure. So I would say it's a medley of both, but because of our positioning and our product and the fact that we are encouraging all women of shapes and sizes to celebrate their shape, it's really important
Yeah.
for our customer and end user to see real women, right? In all different
Mhm.
body types, not your typical, size small or medium model. So for us, UGC is incredibly important. And also to having a woman really talk about and speak about the
Yeah.
attributes of the product. And so
Yeah.
we like to use that type of format, and you'll see a lot of different body types in our ads, and
Hmm.
also to us highlighting a lot of those attributes, and then calling out the pain points at the end of the day, right? Which is incredibly important. Um,
Yeah.
in an industry like ours where shapewear has been known to like solve a solution or solve a
Hmm.
problem, we're
Hmm.
here to say, hey, we have targeted compression zones, or we have items for different occasions, right? You don't have to just only limit shapewear for
Yeah.
that wedding or that birthday. And so it's
Hmm.
important for them to see a woman being able to talk about that in these
Right.
ads.
Right. Yeah. And so, we talked a bit about, the organic content or the influencers that you're working with. Are you talk a bit about how you're finding your creators or what your strategy is for kind of building out those relationships?
Sure. So word of mouth is really important for us, not just for growing your customer base, but also growing your creator community. So we actually have a few different types of creators, so to speak. So we have your traditional
Mhm.
brand ambassador who could be our customer, right? Which
Mhm.
we're able to reach out to our customers through surveys, through our private groups that we have on Facebook, and let them know that they could also become an ambassador for us, right?
Yeah.
The criteria is to, number one, love our product. Number two, be willing to post about it, right?
Mhm.
And so we have our brand ambassadors, and then we have our content creators who you don't necessarily need to have a large following on social media, because
Mhm.
we allow them to create the content. They give it to us. We use that in our ads. And then we have the traditional influencers. So women that have a decent following on social
Mhm.
media, they range from at least 10,000 followers up to the millions. And we have them in different tiers. So you will have like the low to mid, the high tier, and, the celebrity like influencer.
And are you using paid amplification to further promote the content to broader audiences?
Yeah, so you'll see on our social media, we definitely like to amplify some of the content through that, as well as using fan pages through Meta. That's also
Yeah.
important. But you'll see a lot of our influencers and brand ambassadors are posting directly on their channels and using,
Yeah.
the influencer affiliate links and coupon
Yeah.
codes, and
Yeah.
that's incredibly helpful too.
That's great. And so, yeah, it sounds like through the community and through your branding, you're really building up that following of loyal customers that want to talk about your brand and share their experiences.
Exactly. Yeah. And for
Yeah.
me, being a brand director here at Trafilea, being able to see that organic growth. And most recently, I was at Essence Festival, and, I ran into a young lady. I was like, oh my gosh, I love your style. And, we started chatting, and she was one of our influencers. And she's like,
Oh, no
I
way.
worked with you guys and I did this and that. And so it was just really cool seeing this in real life, and knowing too
Yeah.
the women that we bring on to represent our brand are multifaceted,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Dynamic, and at the end of the day, truly love our product.
Yeah. No, it what you're talking about just makes me think it's more than a brand. It's really it is a community. And we've heard that, I think we spoke with Amanda, the president of marketing at Peace Out Skincare last week, and she said the same thing. Like, it's really about building your community of brand loyalists that they're there because you've changed their lives. You're important to them, and they want to it's organic that they want to kind of spread the word and evangelize your brand. So you're
Yeah.
definitely doing something right in that perspective.
For sure. We love to
Yeah.
say that we are that brand for, that modern woman. And, again, through our consumer touch points and our social media and email and all of that, you really see
Mhm.
that we tap into their everyday life, and, the
Yeah.
trending topics. And, again, for me, it's been really exciting to see that growth. And also to
Mhm.
now we just turned 6 years old this past June, right? So
Yeah.
we're considered like the new kids on the block.
Yeah.
However, our results prove that, we belong here.
Yeah. No, for sure. And um, I see it. I believe it. I can see from what I've seen online and just your passion as well. And so you talked about it being successful. So can you share a bit about how you're tracking for success and measuring beyond just the feel good sentiment?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. So right now we've just surpassed 10 million customers. We have over
Amazing. Congrats.
250,000 five-star reviews.
Wow.
And like I said, we also too have expanded into wholesale. So that's been a really fun channel for us to tap into. So,
Hmm.
shameless plug, you may see me and
Yeah.
Laura Caminair and Janae Sena on QVC representing our brands, which has been
Incredible.
so much fun. So
Yeah.
you'll see Shapermint Essentials and now truekind also on QVC. And we're also in Belk. We're on Macy's.com, and we're Nordstrom.com. And so we've gone beyond just a D2C brand, and now we're
Yeah.
in traditional retail. And there's so much more exciting things that are going to occur that I can't say just yet. But you're going to see more of Shapermint and be able to have access to Shapermint. Now, in terms of measuring success, so we exceeded $200 million last year. We're on the road of exceeding 300 million this year. And we're international. So Shapermint is sold in the United States, and we're now available in Canada, the UK, and Australia.
Yeah, great. And one of the aspects of brand measurement that's so hard to measure is that just the brand lift and awareness. So you talked a bit about kind of using technology to track against your competition and kind of the aided and unaided recall. Talk a bit about that approach.
Sure. So on a quarterly basis, we measure, and let me preface this, it's always very difficult to measure true impact from the brand side, right? Because normally marketing, we're here to spend, but we track our performance through aided and unaided awareness. Also, looking at our competitors, having a benchmark, and then understanding too, what are our customers saying about the brand, right? And consumer sentiment is incredibly important. We have a really large research team here at Trafilea. Paired with our data science team, we're able to really understand the metrics that we're tracking to be able to pivot and modify our strategy on a quarterly basis.
Great. Well, thank you. This is, you've shared some tremendous success. And so congratulations for everything you've achieved and the brand has achieved in such a short time. So one more question is, what would you say to a brand that needs to start seeing growth like you've achieved? What would your recommendation be?
Don't be afraid to take risk, right? True growth mentality is to try, adapt, try again, right? Also benchmark your competitors and people outside of your category. I think sometimes you can become so consumed on the numbers and sometimes, struggle with the creativity and the disruptiveness, right? Consumers are smart, right? They want to make sure that you are exactly what you're preaching and that you're also, creating products that really tap into not just their lifestyle, but that, can really enhance their lifestyle. So I would say, as a brand, number one, understanding who you want to be known for, what your true brand positioning is, also recruiting the right team, right? That's incredibly important. And then finding, key team members that are going to be really passionate about the topic and the subject matter so that you can build an authentic community.
Excellent. Well, Gabrielle, this was very enjoyable. I learned a lot and always enjoy speaking with you. So thank you so much for your time today. And hopefully we can have you on again sometime soon.
Thank you so much, Kerry. And it was so great meeting you in real life last year. I can't believe it's been a year.
Yes, we do need to meet up in real life again soon, for sure. I hope you enjoy this episode of Revenue Boost, a marketing podcast. If you need help unlocking business growth, visit our website, revenuebasedmarketing.com. Our next episode is affiliate marketing right for your brand, navigating cost, network, and strategic partnerships. Be sure to subscribe to Revenue Boost, a marketing podcast for more strategies to skyrocket your company's growth.